Sorry, can't hear you. Okay, just a bit of fun. Hi, and welcome to another one of my vintage hi-fi videos. And today, like I promised, I'm going to come away from speakers, even though I put 3 speaker reviews up recently, and I've just acquired another 2 pairs, but I'll leave them to a later date. I wanted to talk about these Dynatron headphones, and this model number is the SP3, because at the moment there seems to be quite a few floating around on eBay, and also they're very similar, if not the same, as the Wharfedale DD1 headphones, which were made about 1972, that kind of 73, 71, somewhere around that kind of era or time, should I say. Yeah, these look very similar. I shall stick a picture up of the Wharfedale DD1s now, and if you can remember that picture and come back to me, and it's worth also looking around on the internet as well, maybe if you're interested in getting a pair of these, or just for a matter of curiosity. But these look identical all the way around, apart from the actual name on the side here, where the others have got Wharfedale. There's 4 little slits in the side, exactly the same positions. All the cables are exactly the same. Everything is exactly the same as the Wharfedales. Whether the units inside the headphones are slightly different, I don't know, but I suspect that they are the same as the Wharfedale DD1s. Like I say, these are the Dynatron ones, and these are actually made in Japan, especially manufactured in Japan for Dynatron Radio Limited and Dynatron Radio Limited, are made in Berkshire, and that's in the UK. Now, like I say, I wanted to review these ones because there's quite a few floating about, and you may be interested in buying looking about for a second hand, or an old vintage pair of headphones to go with your system to make it like all look tying together, all look vintage. And maybe you want to put these on the side like that, on top, or even get a little dummy head and stick them on the side, and it just brings like the look and feel of it to like, kind of all match up together, so to speak. But I didn't want to waste, I didn't want you to go and waste your money and pay too much for these. That's for certain. So I just wanted to give my opinion of what I thought they sounded like. Maybe if you should go out and get a pair, or maybe look elsewhere. So first of all, they're very comfy. These I bought for £30. I'm not too sure if I just mentioned that. I bought them as new, but obviously old stock. But I'm not too sure if they've been used once or twice. Some people put that up on eBay, and they've actually only been used once or something. But these didn't look used, I must admit. They looked, when I got them, they all looked, they hadn't been used. The box was tatty and in fact ripped in a few places, which I had to sellotape up. It comes quite well presented. That's polystyrene inside, but it's got like this velvet kind of covering on the front. It's just been stuck on, not stuck on, but kind of sprayed on, I suppose, on the polystyrene. When you take that out, the other side of the polystyrene is actually white. I didn't get no instructions with them, but I think everyone knows how to use a pair of headphones, although if any instructions actually come with them. But there you go, that's the box. The headphones themselves weigh 0.6 kilos, 600 grams. They do feel quite heavy as well. Now, I've been using these a little while recently, and had a good few hours use out of them now. And when I first got them, they was a bit tight around the ears, like pushing against the head, squashing the head. But now they seem to have loosened up just a bit and getting slightly more comfortable. I think a few more hours or maybe a few days more use, and they'll be okay. Anyway, I'll go on to what I actually thought of them. I'll give you a quick rundown of the specs. There's not much here. It's just 16 Hz to 22,000 Hz, plus or minus 3 dB, 0.6 kilos as I said, and it's got a 2-way speaker system in each unit. So a 2-way speaker system in the left ear and a 2-way speaker system in the right ear. I think the idea of that is to give more eyes and obviously more bass with a bigger speaker in there as well. They're quite big. Yeah, they do look nice. They do look retro, that's for certain. Well, they would be coming in the 70s, early 70s. So they look the part. But anyway, we'll go on to sound. I used 2 amplifiers and 1 receiver on these, just to give. I used a cheap Rotel amp, and I went up to a Sansui receiver, which was still not a dear receiver, the 331, and I used a Rotel 404, I think it is, receiver. I didn't want to go too mad. I've got a few couple more better units, but that seemed fine for these. I think to give a general kind of feel how they sounded. Right, I found the Rotel, the cheap Rotel, which is behind me. I think it's the 311. The headphones did sound harsh anyway, I must admit, but they did sound quite harsh. on the 311. They seem to sound the best on the Sansui, seem to be a little bit sweeter, but still not great. So I'll give a rundown on the sound. I found the bass wasn't that tight, even though the bass did go down low. It wasn't a tight bass. It's more of a rounded bass, more of a rumbling kind of bass. Sounded a bit like if you're into that kind of cinema kind of sound with the bass at the cinema or your home surround, when you get that like subwoofer kind of bass, then these would be great. These are really great for you, I think, if you like that kind of sound. I did not really move the bass on the controls above 3, like it would be 3 notches, so that'd be +3, probably +6 dB if it goes up in 2s. I kind of left it at 0 or 1, moved it across 1 to 2D. If I took it all the way down to 5, it sounded too much, it was just overpowering. So I put it back to 0, and even at 0, if you have the volume up too high, when I say high, it's probably over the top. They did start to distort a little bit. So yeah, but that was kind of like quite high volume anyway. But I did want to go and see what it was kind of capable of there. So that's the bass really. I mean, it was okay. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, just more of a rounded, rumbling kind of bass. And that was on all three amps, pretty much the same. The treble, I found that even though it's a two-way speaker system, I found the treble a bit shy. Could have done it with a little bit more treble, a bit more defined treble. There's no definition to the treble really. In fact, when I started turning the treble up even 3 notches, so that'd be +6 on most amps, it sounded really screechy. It sounded very harsh. Screechy and harsh would be yeah, a good definition of that, I think. Like I say, it needed to be more defined, so I think really keep the treble on 0, and it's still going to be shy. You go to increase it, it just kind of ruins it. So I just found it treble a bit shy on this, definitely. And you didn't want to give it too much treble, as you'll definitely ruin the sound. It wasn't much movement there. Yeah, overall I found the actual sound harsh really. That's kind of like a word I'll describe it, screechy and harsh. The overall kind of sound, I found that it had plenty of body to it. I mean, it sounded, the image was okay, and it sounded quite a big image, because they are big headphones anyway. Sounded better on the slow tracks. It kind of lost its way quite a bit on fast tracks. Definitely lost its way, lost its enjoyment of it. Well, it wasn't much enjoyment listening to it anyway. I don't think. I wouldn't want to sit for hours listening to anything on these headphones. That's for certain. These are kind of like a 1 LP listen, 1 CD listen maybe. You wouldn't want to go much, but it's better headphones out there, new and old, than these. That's for certain at this kind of price point. I think really you're buying these. I mean, they're okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not unbelievably horrible, and I think it's just they're not great. I don't think. This is only my opinion, but these are for more having a retro looking big chunky headphones, and you've got a pair, and hopefully you picked them up cheap, £10 or £15 somewhere like that. And you've got a pen, you may want to put that on top of your unit or on the side with a dummy's head or something like that. Just to, you've got it and you've kind of got the look that goes with everything else. But other than that, I definitely wouldn't be paying more than £30 for like a newish pair that I've got here. I mean, I paid top money, really, I think, for £30 for these as they are. I mean, I've got a retro 1970s pair of headphones in good condition, so I'm happy with that. I may listen to them now and again just for a change of sound, so to speak. But yeah, I won't be paying any more than that. So if you're looking around for a retro pair of headphones, these are okay, not great. If you just want a retro looking pair of headphones, these are good for the looks and not so much for the sound. Maybe look elsewhere. Pioneer, I'm not too sure what they sound like. I haven't got a pair to compare them with, but I wouldn't have thought they're going to sound any worse, that's for certain. So maybe just something to think about, if you're looking for headphones, or just a general review of these headphones. I'll give these, as I do a lot of my stuff now, well, most of the reviews I'm doing now, I'm giving them a rating out of 10, and I'll give these 4, which normally means I don't like and I want to get rid of them. But the 4 is mainly for the looks, and I like the looks, and I'm going to keep them for the time being, that's for certain. I do like the looks. I'm going to put them back in the box, and they'll probably come out every now and again. And when I finally get a proper space that I can set a few things up, I'll probably have these on the side just to make it look retro along with the other retro items. So that's it then. Thanks for watching this video. I do appreciate it, and I will come back with another review of some description. It won't be speakers, maybe an amp or a tuner or some general tips. I'll sort that out over the next day or so. Anyway, until then, I'll see you all soon.